Being the mom of a 6-year-old spicy Scorpio who was actually 3 years old at the time that I decided to answer this calling that I felt deep within myself to become a doula, I had so many questions about how could I really manage the expectations of growing a business, being there for my clients, and giving them the time, energy, and effort that they were paying me for, while also being there for my daughter and managing the role of being a new mom. So I see so many people in Facebook groups and in threads online asking about how are people really managing becoming a doula while also having small children and growing their family actively while in birth work. So let me give you 7 strategies and things to think about when it comes to your call to become a doula and also your call to be there as a parent for your beautiful family that you are also in the process of growing. So, first things first, I feel like people don't really consider all that you can be as a doula because so many people are so focused on being a birth doula, right? And birth doula work is absolutely beautiful. It's a miracle and it's nothing like it, right? And I can say that as a birth doula who has attended over 40 births at this point with my clients or as part of a team. But I will say that all of the other things that doula work has to offer, as far as being a postpartum doula, adoption doula, fertility doula, bereavement or loss doula, death doula, or even a full spectrum doula, you can really see, right, the array of ways that you can step into doula work. And so maybe now in the season, while you do have a young family, you are a postpartum doula. That way you can have that schedule, you can have that flexibility, and you can be there during, the day or the night while your children need that parent around and have that supervision while also answering the call that you have as birth work. So as a birth worker, which is what I am doing currently. So right now I am a postpartum doula and I am supporting my clients overnight from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I have a partner who works during the day, right? And so that's the way that we are able to manage being there for our daughter, having someone at the house 24/7 while not needing any childcare, any daycare, or any nanny. So that's an option. Now, the second thing that you can do is to determine that you are going to move from a solo model into a team model as you care for your clients. So, I tried this method as well, and this method was a game changer. So, let me explain. A lot of people decide to become, let's say, a birth doula. And so you say, hey, I'm going to be a birth doula, and you put yourself out there, you start your business, you get your clients, and then you may have someone who you are connected with who's like a backup. And that person would step in for you if you were sick, if you had an emergency, if you were unable to be there for your client. But instead of you being the primary person who is responsible for your clients, what if you had one other person or a team of people and you all were responsible for the client, right? So I had another doula who was a phenomenal birth doula, and we both did consultations, we both did prenatals to support our clients with preparing for birth, and one of us attended the birth, right? So myself and my co-doula, we would split the month up, or it would be she was on primary call and I was on backup for certain days where she was unavailable that I knew well in advance, so I could prepare myself, I could have someone ready and available to take care of my daughter if I needed to support our clients in labor on those days. And then once our client had the baby, we both would go to the postpartum visit and follow up together, right? It was such a game changer to practice this way. We were able to operate in our strengths. I felt really free and flexible to take 3 or 4 clients without much thought of, oh, I'm worried about, am I going to have a child care? Am I going to have child care available? Will a nanny be available? Will my partner be around? So that really freed me up and allowed me to take on the clients, to consult, and to really focus on my strengths. I was the person who did the majority of the marketing, bringing in potential clients, and communication with those clients when it came to sending out contracts, invoices, booking, emails, things of that nature. So That could be a model that could work for you. I've also seen people work in a collective where it's three or more people that have the client, and then they are able to communicate with the clients. They have rotating, like on call schedules. And so, in the same way that like a doctor practice would work if you were an expecting parent, it's the same way that doulas have set up their practice in some instances and have really made it work when they have small families. Another thing that I feel like people don't really talk about that I've seen in Facebook groups that I thought was a genius idea is to do a nanny share, right? So maybe you and a few other doulas or birth workers will hire one nanny who will be able to take care of all of your families, right? This could be excellent because you could split the cost of the nanny, right? So that could save you some money. You could also be able to introduce your children to other children, right, who all have birth worker parents. And so your children are able to meet new people and to socialize and to be able to make new friends. And it also gives you the understanding from your nanny that they know what it's like to have clients who are on call, and they're able to meet that demand and have the flexibility, right? Because especially as birth doulas, our clients love to go into labor at night. Babies love to come at night. So sometimes it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so that could be tough to find multiple nannies, right, that are available and able to support you when it comes to being on call. But if you're doing a nanny share, then you automatically know that because that person is supporting other doulas, supporting other midwives, and people who are on call and have that schedule, that they are prepared, right, to be able to step in and they know what that looks like. You could also have daycare centers or childcare centers in your area that have like a drop in that are open 24/7. Where I'm located, we don't have that option. But if that is an option available in your local area, that is another option for you when it comes to childcare. The other thing that I feel like people can do when it comes to childcare is to really lean on people who are retired or who have medical things going on that have them homebound, that want to make an extra income and that can be there to support you for childcare any time of the day or night, right? So back in the day when I first started becoming a doula, my mom actually had a myriad of health issues. And so she was at home most of the time. So she was able to watch my daughter while I went to a birth until my partner got off work or whatever that looked like. And so that was beautiful to be able to have someone who did not have a 9 to 5, was super flexible and not on a rigid schedule, that allowed them to be there for me, who I know loved my daughter, would care for my daughter, and who she would be in good hands with. So as high as expenses are everywhere, right? Expenses now for gas, groceries, so many things are high as a giraffe's tail. And so many people who are retired are looking to make an additional income, but don't necessarily want to go back to corporate America. So this could be a great way for you to have someone who you trust, who is local, who is around and at home and available for you for on call. If you do choose to be a traditional birth doula and to have the on call in person support as part of your practice, to be able to support that while also having someone who can support your family. The other thing that I wanted to say too is that sometimes being a doula could mean being a W 2 employee. Now, this is rare. I'm going to be honest. Most of the time, when you're a doula, you do have to start your own business. You start attracting your own clients and all of the things. But I have seen across the US, there are very rare times when you can be a W 2 employee. So you do have specific hours, you do have specific shifts where you're expected to work. And this may be the best option for some people who have small children, because then you can be on a predictable schedule when it comes to knowing when you need childcare and be able to put those things in place. Typically, those jobs are with like a birth center or like a hospital is what I've seen, where they're like, hey, we want doulas who are available to do 8 or 12 hour shifts. And during your shift, if there is someone that goes into labor, you may be responsible for supporting that person. And then once your shift is over, you already know there's a doula coming in for you, and you are able to leave on time to be able to get back home. So being a W 2 employee as a doula may not be available everywhere again. So checking your area to see if that's something that is available, maybe through Indeed or LinkedIn, or asking in local doula groups if that is a possibility. Okay. The other thing is to completely take your doula practice online. So that's my next tip. Like after COVID, I feel like it was really, really popular for people to be what we call like virtual doulas or to be online in more of like a coaching capacity. And you can do this as a birth doula, postpartum doula, fertility, adoption, bereavement, loss. Anything really could translate into an online practice. And this could absolutely give you the freedom and flexibility that you need to be able to stay at home with your children, to care for your children while also caring for your clients by taking away that in person expectation and selling a package of hours where people are meeting with you maybe on Zoom or some other platform. Even Voxer or email support could be a form of online care that you can provide for potential clients. And that could be an attractive option for you while your children are small until they get older and maybe you can transition your practice. I have also even seen a doula agency that provides 100% online support. So you could be a virtual doula and an independent contractor for an agency if you didn't want to go through the task of creating your own business, attracting your own clients, right? So that could be another option for you as well. And last but not least, this is probably the most controversial tip that I'm going to give, but I'm going to bring it up because I feel like it's interesting. So, whenever you talk about bringing your child with you to do doula work, you're going to get people who feel like that's the way that it should be and that's like natural and normal, and we should be moving towards more of an environment that is welcoming for that sort of thing. And then you'll also get people who feel like it's unprofessional, you won't be able to focus, you'll have your time split between what you can do for your clients and what you can do for your children, and it will be a disruptive environment for the client to have a child who is not theirs but yours, who is demanding their doula's attention. So it's going to be split. But taking your child to work with you could be an option, right? If you can't attract clients who don't have a problem with that, maybe you could do baby wearing. Maybe you, if your child is that age where that is could be done, maybe you could wear your child on your back and you could go ahead and go to a birth or go to a daytime postpartum shift and to care for your child while also caring for your client. So that's something that, it's totally up to you. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments when it comes to potentially bringing your child into a birthing environment or bringing your child into a postpartum environment, allowing them to see what you do, how you care for clients, and your clients being truly welcoming and okay with that. So those are my tips and strategies for all of my beautiful birth workers who are aspiring, who have a small family, or who are growing their family and really want to know, how can I still answer this call and be able to do this work while caring for my family as well? Let me know what you think about these tips. Which one was your favorite? Which one do you feel like you can implement and that would be the right strategy for your family? And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.